What was that like coming on to a relatively new brand in a space where the actual um, product type was pretty new as well?
Yeah, when I joined, like no one knew what an interactive demo was. To this day, if I go to an event and someone's like, "I've heard of Navatic," I'm like, "That's not possible." Like it's so nice when people say that to me, but I joined really when almost no one knew what interactive demo does, and no one knew what Navatic was. And honestly, it's this is like the space that I like. I like early startup marketing, so for me, it's sort of fun because it really means that everything you do is sort of a win.
Hmm.
Yes, maybe it feels sometimes like you're shouting into the void and no one knows who you are yet, but I sort of like that challenge of, okay, all we really need to focus right now on is on education. Like it meant a lot of content around like what is a demo? Why is it important? How can we get the message out there? And we weren't really doing much before I joined. We had some poorly executed, and my CEO would admit this, but poorly executed Google ad campaigns running. We had some really terrible blog posts out there. So I like the early days because it's like, okay, every improvement is sort of a win versus the nothing we had before.
Yeah, how you mentioned not believing people knowing who you are. It's funny because I associate at this point like your personal brand with the Navattic brand. Like even the alliteration of Natalie and Navattic, I'm like, oh, it's Navattic Natalie, Natalie. You know what I mean?
I
It's
had
like
grabbed
there's
that
something to it.
before.
Yeah. So how much do you like? Was that a purposeful thing where you were like, hey, I'm have the ability to come out here, be the public face. I have connections in the industry. People love knowing a person more than just a brand. We want to do this strategically, or was it like you're the main marketer there? Somebody has to do this stuff, and then you're getting opportunities. So you're like, yeah, I am going to do a webinar. I am going to do partnerships. I am going to do speaking opportunities, and it kind of happened. Like, how strategic were you about that from the jump?
I feel like it was somewhere in the middle of the two you just described. I remember about a year in, we spent a lot of times originally just, again, like kind of doing the basics when I joined. Would, again, prove like existing campaigns that were working well, set up HubSpot, and made sure we had a marketing attribution platform and all sort of that. And once we got to the point where we were doing more brand building, one thing we strategically started thinking about is like people obviously do like more of a face to a company. They want someone they can resonate with, especially marketers. And there was the question of, like, should our founders be posting? I feel like that was all the era of like
Hmm.
I don't know, founder brand was really,
Yeah.
really big. But we are like, we're selling to marketers. You are the marketer. You understand marketers. It probably does make a little more sense for you to be doing it than the founder. So it wasn't like we on day one were like, Natalie, you are now the face of this company. It's your name. The alliteration works too well. um, but it was a little intentional of like, it probably makes more sense since we're going after marketers. And it really was just like, okay, I'm going to start by like, we're already putting out some really good content. I'm going to start by repurposing that and posting that to LinkedIn. Or like, okay, we're already maybe doing some webinars or events. Like, I'll just start posting about that. It wasn't like I mapped out this very elaborate posting schedule or I'm a little more of like I post when I have something to say, a little less like I need to follow a strict schedule, but that's also just my personality.
Hmm.
Um, and it just kind of kept going with it, and definitely did start to see it like slowly grow over time. Then probably got a little more strategic, but even so, I am never someone like I have an idea of what I'm going to post maybe like a week out in advance or some topics I want to cover if we
Hmm.
have some cool content coming up, but it's never been like a formulaic process.
Yeah, I mean, just from seeing how your marketing and the for Novatic has evolved as from a like viewer standpoint or consumer of it all, it feels very organic in a really positive way. Where like there's some things that you definitely put a lot of work into and are very strategic about. Like I know you did some research reports where you have like stats to back things up. You have all the data from your clients that are using the product. Like you have all the stuff kind of in your back pocket. But then how you release it doesn't feel like it's like, well, we're releasing it every Tuesday at this time because we put it on the schedule. It's more like, hey, we're hearing people talking about this in the market. Here's some data to back that up. Or like, hey, I get asked a question on a webinar. Funny you asked me that. Here's a really great stat to back. It feels very organic in how you end up playing it out.
And honestly, that is a lot of it. Like a lot of my job, because I've kind of made myself the face, is going to events, is talking to customers, is going on webinars. And that feeds, like, it's such a growth loop that feeds itself. Even a lot of times when I plan a launch, I'll plan the first few posts and I'll have an idea maybe what I want to post at the end. But a lot of times what sparks that idea is what people comment on the first few posts. Like, I look to see, like, what are people interested in? What did they clearly latch onto? Like, our last post, I shouldn't have been surprised by this, but I mentioned how I created a custom GPT, and I'm still very much in the learning phase. I'm not proclaiming this was anything genius or anything, but a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, hey, can you send me your prompt or can you tell me more about it? And I was like, oh, I should probably just post about this. So I kind of
Yeah.
let the audience inform what they'd want to learn more.